Today was a very interesting day to say the least. What we learned is that the United States has a lot of threats against us, that we are vulnerable to an infrastructure attack, like we just saw earlier on today, where we saw that many cell carriers, for instance, AT&T, Verizon, and even T-Mobile, they had thousands upon thousands of people, customers, that were reporting that their service didn't work. Well, this is a problem. This is what the FBI has been warning. But I'm going to break that down in today's video and explain why this is turning into a bigger concern and what experts are telling us at this time. So make sure you stick around for this entire video. I'll explain exactly what is going on. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So the FBI and Homeland Security have been warning the United States for many months, stating that China is going to be a massive threat. Now, I've been talking about the US southern border for the past handful of months. This is turning into a massive issue. There's thousands upon thousands of illegal immigrants entering into the United States on a daily basis. Not anymore in Texas. Now they're going to Arizona and California. Well, guess what? That is turning into an even bigger crisis, because in California, they are almost accepting these people and saying, hey, come on in. We are here to give you free healthcare, free food, and shelter. Why would anybody turn that away? Well, here's the problem. The FBI is now saying that China is going to be behind more and more of these cyber attacks and potential physical attacks moving forward. I don't know for a fact, but there's been a lot of speculation over the past few hours because of what happened earlier on this morning, where over 73,000 people just from AT&T alone, they saw that they had no service. Okay, over 73,000 people just today. That's concerning. Guess what? We do not know for a fact that China's behind it, but there's a lot of speculation that China has the ability, and this was just a test. This was a test to see how far we would drop, how much we would actually hurt by seeing a little bit of a outage from our cell service. Well, guess what? It hurt. Many people were struggling. Some people were reporting hours after the fact that they couldn't make phone calls, they had an emergency, and they could not get a hold of anybody. I don't know what the emergency was. Hopefully everyone is perfectly fine. Nobody's hurt. Nobody lost their life. But again, that's part of the struggle. Now, I want to show you this. Okay? So according to Reuters, the White House says the FBI and Homeland Security, they are going to look into this AT&T outage. Well, it's going to take some time. And in the meantime, while we are doing that, guess what? Chinese migrants have now eclipsed the Mexican nationals in key southern border sector. More than 24,000 Chinese nationals have been encountered at the border in fiscal year 2023. Based off of the new reports here in 2024, and keep in mind, fiscal year 2024 only started in October. So it's October, November, December, January, part of February. In less than 5 total months, we've seen over 20,000 Chinese nationals enter into the United States. According to reports, about 80% of those are military-age men, single men, no family, nobody coming along with them. It's just them by themselves. This is why the FBI is concerned, because they say this could be a major threat. If these military-age men are here to pretty much set up shop for the Chinese military, we should be concerned. If they are here because they are going to attack us, maybe attack our infrastructure. And this is something that we've heard for many months, for years actually, is that the FBI has been warning us that China has already put in the right software. And all they have to do, flip the switch, and it could shut down our water treatment facilities. It could change flights, divert emergency services. It could disrupt hospitals. We've seen this in the past. And so we cannot put this past them. Now, I want to read a little bit of this article, okay? It's an article from Fox News. It says Customs and Border Protection data obtained by Fox News shows that Chinese nationals are the second largest nationality encountered at the border in San Diego sector since the fiscal year began in October. It says there have been 21,000 Chinese nationals encountered, second only to Colombia, where 28,000 have been encountered. Third is Mexican nationals with 18,700, followed by Brazil, 8,700, and Ecuador, 7,700. Now, other countries include Turkey, Guinea, India, Guatemala, and even Peru. Now, I want to address that for a second. One of the concerns here is we are actually seeing gangs enter into the United States. And so at a time where we have just experienced a massive outage from our cell carriers, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, the concern is that this is just the beginning. It was just a test. This is also one of the reasons why, according to experts in Miami, Chicago, New York, one of the things we have been facing is a gang. Okay, this gang from Venezuela, a violent gang, by the way, has been entering the United States slowly. They have been setting up shop in Miami, in Chicago, and New York. In New York, one of the things you've probably heard of is people going around on like mopeds and snatching people's phones pretty much out of their hand while they're on it. Because by doing that, the phone is unlocked. Guess what? You take that phone, they wipe all your information, they steal all your money that's tied to that phone or any account attached to it, then they go and sell the phone. Now they have money that they can go and expand their operation into other cities. Again, this is from Venezuela. This is a gang, a violent gang. But we also have reports that Chinese nationals are doing the same thing. It's not a gang, but I don't know what they call it, but they're pretty much doing the same thing. Well, once those two go head to head, now it's going to turn violent because now it's a territory war. This is the concern, and this is why I bring all this up. All these little things that we keep hearing, it's just the beginning. Once these large or small groups start to get bigger and bigger and they turn into a large group, then they start going head to head with others or already established gangs here in the United States. Well, that's where things turn deadly. That's where it turns somewhat violent and very dangerous for residents in that area or that city. So all I can tell you right now is when we see these different reports on the news, don't just flip the channel, don't just swipe up, don't just change it. Listen to what's being said, because at this time the concern is this is just the beginning. Things are only going to get worse if we allow it. And as of right now, the Biden administration does not have the ability or the power to go and change what is going on at the border, mainly because Congress is going to vote against all the stuff that he's proposing. And President Biden, at this time, based off all the reports I've read, the Biden administration, people that are pulling the strings for President Biden, will not allow him to go and do an executive action that's going to make it harder for people to get into the United States, because that goes directly against what President Biden pushed for early on in his presidency. So that's where we're at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.